Coming to you live from our Auckland Park studios, this is Prime News on SABC 3. Here are our top stories. A day of mourning was observed in the Eastern Cape following the death of 92 people in the devastating floods in the Matata area last week.
So a political party should never be an individual project where you feel like, no, I want to start a political party and then you start it.
Former MK Party Secretary General Floyd Shivamu has launched a process with the view of forming a new political party.
We want to suspend it, and we want a deep dive investigation into the NPA.
Action SA has submitted a memorandum to the Minister of Justice demanding that she request the President to start the process to remove the NPA head. Good evening and welcome to Prime News on 3. I am Beki Mutumomolete, here to take you through today's most impactful stories from around the globe. We've got it all covered, so let's dive right in and take a closer look at our leading story. The Eastern Cape Provincial Government has observed a day of mourning following the death of 92 people in the devastating floods in the Matata area last week. A memorial service was held at the King Sabata Dalindyebo College in Matata this morning. The area of Matata West was badly affected, with a number of houses submerged in water.
Leaders, members of the clergy and traditional leaders came to mourn with the bereaved families. The flooding has left thousands of people displaced. Some distraught families are still searching for their loved ones.
My
child was on the way to school, but she has not been found yet. This is very painful to me.
When I came here, they were busy looking for the borders. They found their husband. After that, they found essay to their firstborn. Then my sister was found later. Their lastborn, Lukanyu, has not yet been found. We are still looking for him. It is painful because we cannot do anything.
Grief-stricken learners from Jumba Senior Secondary School also paid their respects to their deceased peers.
We were affected more than words can express, because we lost friends, we lost just mates, we lost classmates, and it's hard when you meet someone at school and regard them as your sister or brother, and then she or he leaves you in a way that you never expected.
There have been widespread reports of criminal elements allegedly targeting the places where some of the victims are housed. Some alleged extortionists are reported to have threatened the delivery of water to the affected communities.
We are busy trying to trace, and to check all those who are behind this,
The search for the missing continues. Fundiswa Mhlekude, SABC News, Matata.
Meanwhile, acting Eastern Cape Premier Mlungisi Mvoko, who led the prayer service, said the tragedy showed the reality of climate change.
The immediate task is to work with families to ensure that the souls we have lost in this tragedy are buried in dignity. After that, we work together to start the rebuilding process in the affected communities. We have observed the negative publicity. However, today I want to highlight the reality of climate change. Therefore, it's no longer enough to react to disasters. We must prepare for them and prevent them where possible.
We are forcing with all we can to jump the step of TRUs, which are temporary residential units, that let's rather allocate land where our people will be given title deeds with the assistance of Minister Nyocho, so that where we place them, it's in permanent land.
Former MK Party Secretary General Floyd Shivamu has launched a process with the view of forming a new political party. Shivamu also delivered a scathing rebuke, referring to people surrounding MK Party President Jacob Zuma as scoundrels. Addressing a media conference on his political future, he claimed that the fake reports were used to push him out.
Floyd Shivamu has alleged that a fake intelligence report was given to the MK party leader and the High Command in order to remove him from his position. The former party secretary general insists that it's a lie that he was removed because of his visit to the Malawian self-proclaimed prophet Shepherd Bushiri's church.
The removal of Secretary General was that I want to overthrow President Zuma as the president of Mkondo Isizwe. That is what we have said. That all the work that we were doing as Secretary General of establishing structures and identifying leaders was meant ultimately at the removal of President Zuma.
On his deployment to Parliament, Shivamu described how another intelligence report was used to derail this deployment.
The report was presented which claims to be WhatsApp conversations between me and someone else where I'm reported to be saying that I'm going to use Parliament now to take over the party. And I've got money from Stellenbosch who are going to take over the party through Parliament. They are taking me closer to where we're going to take power. And as a result, a decision was taken which was not yet communicated that even this thing of Parliament must not happen.
Shivamu will now embark on a consultation process with traditional, religious and prominent leaders will be consulted on this new path.
If we were to form a political party, let us go to the people of South Africa and ask them if they want to have a political party. We can't form a political party as a group of friends and as few individuals. So a political party should never be an individual project where you feel like, no, I want to start a political party and then you start it.
Just like MK party leader Jacob Zuma, Floyd Shivamu is keeping his membership of the MK party, but embarking on a process to form a new political party. Shivamu is seemingly gearing for political life post the MK party. Samkele Masego, SABC News, Johannesburg.
Meanwhile, the MK Party's Member of Parliament, Sihle Ngubane, says the only authority that can give a response to Floyd's remarks is the party's High Command.
Comrade Floyd is still a member of MK. We really appreciate that, and we're okay with that. But let's leave that to the National High Command to deal with it, because it's issues of the political party. So let's leave that to deal with it, as he went out and have a press conference about his activities in MK party. So, but then let's leave that to Floyd and the National High Command to address it, and then they must sit with one another and try and see how do they work together, as he has emphasized that he still regard President Zuma in high esteem and he respects him. We really appreciate that to the member of MK, like he is saying, and to say that he's not going anywhere, but we appreciate that.
Welcome back. Action SA has submitted a memorandum to the Minister of Justice, Mamoloko Kubai, demanding that she request the President to invoke Section 12 of the National Prosecuting Authority Act. This section would initiate the process to remove the National Director of Public Prosecutions, Advocate Shamila Batohi, from office, citing systematic dysfunction within the NPA.
Members of Action SA gathered in numbers outside the Department of Justice and Constitutional Development in Pretoria, demanding the removal of Batohi.
We suspended and we want a deep dive investigation into the NPA. We don't want them to fire her now because she'll go to court and she'll contest being fired.
Frustrated victims also came forward to share their harrowing experiences.
In 2019, I was falsely accused of raping my niece, who was 4 years old at that time. I was 32 years old. I was accused of this crime by the father of the child, who is my sister's ex-boyfriend.
I was all alone. I was not even working, but I never missed a court date.
Action SA President Herman Mashaba vowed to persist in the fight for justice on behalf of the people.
We have spent over 4 million rands in legal costs. The National Prosecuting Authority is in contempt of a court order after the inquest.
I carry a message from her that upon receiving the letter from your office, that you will be coming to her office. She indicates that she did write back to your office requesting for a meeting so that the issues that are contained in the memorandum can be ironed out.
Matata Floods of SABC News, Pretoria.
The result of a lack of human resources within the criminal justice system affects the state's ability to investigate and prosecute successfully. This has been laid bare before the Standing Committee on Public Accounts. The National Prosecuting Authority, Special Investigating Unit, and the Directorate for Priority Crime Investigation gave MPs a breakdown of why it sometimes takes years for them to finalize court matters.
This was the tone of the committee in a nutshell.
So when you say you've got 2 CAs, right, I need to get a sense of 2 CAs where? In the entire Jesus.
This was the very reason why these entities were called before the committee.
The fundamental questions that South Africans have about these matters relate to what takes so long, both in the investigation and also the successful prosecution, basically. And secondly, why does even the court process in itself take so long?
Entities were clear in expressing that they don't want to seem to be making excuses.
At times, Chair, some of these cases, they need skills that we do not necessarily have with them within the TPCI, where we have to outsource those kind of skills.
We need to be candid because Parliament needs to properly understand and then assist law enforcement and other entities in trying to deal with these scourges.
Entities also explained how complex cases in which there are up to 10 accused which deal with more than one charge.
This is important for the public because it's some of the things that frustrate and make people really angry.
Abra Barbia, SABC News, Parliament.
There's been a dramatic turn in the ongoing dispute between the CRL Rights Commission and a faith-based lobby group. Chairperson Togo Mkhwanazi Kaluva and activist Cheryl Zondi are expected to open a criminal case against the Director of Freedom of Religion, South Africa, accusing him of spreading misinformation about the commission and its work. Michael Swain was unavailable for comment at the time of broadcast.
We need to send a very, very strong message to all people who are trying to run away from being held accountable as religious leaders, that insults will not go far, not anymore, not today, not tomorrow, not any time. We are not taking insults anymore. We will do what needs to be done.
The 3 people convicted and sentenced in the Joshen Smith disappearance trial have filed papers for leave to appeal in the High Court in Cape Town. Joshen's mother, Kelly Smith, and co-accused Stephen van Ryan and Jacqueline Apollos were sentenced to life about 3 weeks ago on child trafficking and kidnapping charges. Joshen disappeared from the Medlepo's informal settlement in February last year. Judge Nathan Erasmus also sentenced the trio to 15 years in jail on the kidnapping charge. Their lawyers have filed notices to appeal their conviction and sentence. The NPA says they received notices from defense lawyers to apply. Thank you for staying with us. Airports Company South Africa will invest over 21 billion rand in airport infrastructure developments in the next 5 years. The company provided an update on the rollout of some of the maintenance projects at its airport network.
AXA has been under pressure to improve infrastructure after operational mishaps led to flight delays and cancellations in December last year. CEO Mpumi Mpofu says contingency plans are in place to avoid future disruptions. She also addressed concerns about the air traffic system.
I must indicate that the process that has been embarked upon since the challenges emerged have been collaborative. We've all been involved in task teams to really find solutions to this, the CAA, ourselves, ATNS, and we've worked tirelessly over a period to assist where we can. Just the AXA responsibilities somewhat have been also in areas where if there is a diversion of an aircraft or cancellation, etc., we've had to sort out the ground transportation that relates to that.
Mpofu also confirmed that building jet fuel capacity is also in the pipeline following supply challenges earlier this year.
We had a fire at Sasol, Natrep, which fire resulted in them needing to shut down operations and create a constraint in the country around fuel supply. It's that realization that prompted us to then think about increasing the fuel tank capacity, which is yet another project that we'll be undertaking, probably starting by year 3. We've not spoken to a lot of the capacity projects. Here we've spoken about refurbishment, but that's yet something else that we will do.
AXA has made an assurance that work on its network is on track. Nosipo Khadebe, SABC News, Johannesburg.
A Nigerian businessman, Aliko Dangote, says Africa has all the resources to become one of the world's most powerful continental economies. Dangote made the remarks during his visit to Namibia. Namibia recently announced that it had discovered natural resources which can empower its economy.
Ali Dangote, one of the richest people in Africa. He has invested in many African countries, including South Africa. His visit to Namibia comes at a time where Namibian President Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah is on a campaign to build the economy of the country. Dangote's meeting with Nandi-Ndaitwah is one such step.
Africa entrepreneurs are the one we are looking at as citizens of this continent. For us to move to the next level and not just to be seen as a continent of poverty.
Dangote has also agreed that the continent is capable of building a strong economy with its resources.
Madam President, I want to thank you really for touching the right points. There's no way anybody can come and develop our continent. The continent can only be developed by Africans. And that is why a company like ours, we have actually invested now in almost 12 other African countries.
Dita Batsotezi, SABC News, Johannesburg.
And on to our sporting news. The party continues for South Africa's national cricket team. South Africans in Johannesburg came out in their numbers to celebrate and mingle with the Proteas at the Nelson Mandela Square in Sandton following their victory over Australia in the World Test Championship final last week.
Thank you, guys. I think on behalf of the team, players, management as well, just like to say thank you for all the appreciation that you've shown us. You've really shown us what it means, what we've done out there. To see all you guys enjoy this moment with us, it makes us really proud for our efforts. And yeah, thank you for everything.
I came here to celebrate the champions of South Africa, the cricket guys. I work here as well, so it's nice to be around here. My name is Elizabeth, and I'm here for KG. Love you, KG. I got all the autographs. I got all of them, and well done to the Proteas. We are behind them. Yeah, champions!
I've been following the Proteas since the time I was born, thanks to my dad. It's run in my family, cricket's run in my family, so to see us finally lift something was this feeling of elation, and I can't explain the feeling in words.
I'm here to support our boys and show them the love that they deserve. They did really well, and yeah, just really proud of them.
This one is special. It's for my baby girls, you know, signatures from the champions.
I'm proud, man. It's too nice. It's too nice.
The skies are the limit, and our weather team is on standby to decipher the forecast for you. Let's take a peek and see what's brewing on the horizon. Coming up next.
Thank you very much and a very warm welcome to the weather desk. Time for us to look at those conditions over the country now. It is a typical winter's night with a high pressure system dominating the weather over the country. That is why it's quite clear over the central parts of South Africa. We do have another cold front which is expected over Cape Town tomorrow, causing a 30% chance of showers and rain and causing some tight gradients ahead of that cold front. Also expecting a cloudy night as we move into the mother city, stretching into that low field of Mpumalanga. For tomorrow, that's when we see that cold front making landfall over the Western Cape, causing some scattered showers and rain over Cape Town. Isolated as we move into George, stretching all the way into Gqeberha for tomorrow. The high pressure system still dominating over most of the country. We are expecting a level 2 warning of some damaging waves for tonight and also for tomorrow. We do expect that warning because of that cold front that's approaching Cape Town. Also expecting a level 2 warning of damaging winds as we move into that interior of the Eastern Cape. We're talking Gqeberha and surrounding areas, and also as we move towards the coast, which will make it difficult to navigate at sea, and also some beachfront activities will be disrupted. In terms of temperatures for tonight, we're expecting freezing conditions as we move into Bloemfontein, Maletswai, stretching all the way into Komani. So it is freezing over those areas for tonight. So please, let's take note of that. It is going to be cold as we move towards Appleton with minimum of 19 over Johannesburg and Pretoria. Up north, Musina expecting a minimum of 11.30 will be your low over Durban. Maximum temperatures for tomorrow, it is quite warm as we move towards the coast over KwaZulu-Natal, 23 over Durban, Richards Bay, and a high of 27. It is cool as we move into Johannesburg with a high of 20. Those cool conditions also persisting over that interior of the Northern Cape with a high of 16 over Upington. Sunderland expecting a high of 11. Extended forecast now for Saturday. Another cold front is expected over the mother city, but it's a weak cold front, just isolated showers and rain expected over the southern parts of the Western Cape and Eastern Cape. Temperature-wise, it is going to be a cool day over Cape Town, but cold as we move towards Free State. Cool conditions over Gauteng, stretching all the way into Limpopo and Mpumalanga, where it's becoming warm on Saturday, stretching all the way into KwaZulu-Natal for Saturday. That's all the weather I have for you. Stay tuned.
And that's how we wrap up our bulletin. Thank you for tuning in. I will be back with you for more updates tomorrow evening. Until then, from myself and the team, stay ahead. Good night.